6 weeks ago, the people from Kuhn made bales with different binding and wrapping methods. One set of bales was bound with net and then wrapped with 6 layers of film. The other set was bound with film and then wrapped with 5 layers of film. Today, Eurofins Agro will return to take samples of the bales. I'm curious to see what the test results are. Samples are taken from both groups of bales for accurate testing. Each bale is sampled 8 times, 4 times to determine the feed value and 4 times to determine the preservation. The samples are kept separately per bale. The samples are now taken to the Eurofins Agro laboratory, where they will be analyzed. Let's see how that works. I'm standing here with Bob Fabry. He's a forage specialist. Bob, can you tell us a bit more about what you're going to do with the samples that we made from the grass?
Yes, sure. I've got the sample here. It was taken from the bales which you did your trial on. And I'm going to give it to my colleagues here and I'll show you what's happening. Let's go. Yep.
Today is the day. We will get the results from the baling test. Which bale will be better, the net-bound bale or the film-bound bale with one less layer of wrapping film? Let's go inside. Bob, can you explain to me what happens to the grass inside of the bale after it's baled and wrapped?
Yeah, it's really important that after you have made the bale, you wrap it as soon as possible, because once it's been baled, it immediately starts its conservation process and you want to get the air out as soon as possible. So the first couple of weeks, bacteria will start working on the bales, and during the first 4 to 6 weeks a lot of things are happening and the bale is starting to conserve. And after 6 weeks we can say that the bale is stable and can be stored for over a longer period of time because the conservation has been, well, more or less completed.
After 6 weeks?
Yes, yeah.
And how important is it that the bale is sealed airtight?
Bad bacteria don't get a chance, yeast don't get a chance, molds don't get a chance, and then you can store it for a really, really long period of time.
And what is a really long period of time?
I would say a year or 2 years.
And what can you say about the feed quality in the bales?
What really strikes me is that the dry matter content is not that weird for bales, but for the bacteria or the acidity in the bales, which is quite low, and that could indicate that it was really airtight. Mm-hmm. And overall, the feed quality of the 2 test groups were pretty good. Yep.
So do you see a big difference between the test groups?
For these 2 samples we've analyzed for Kuhn, I can't really tell a big difference. Both have a well conserved, so the preservation is good.
Kuhn has also done this test last year. Can you tell me a bit more about the test from last year?
They did that with cover crop with a dry matter which was really lower. And there indeed we saw differences. With the net-bound bales we saw a bit of a higher bad bacteria. Mm-hmm. And with only film and no net we saw only the good group of bacteria. For those 2, we really saw a difference in there, and there I could say that the preservation of the one with film only was better than with net.
So even with 1 layer less of wrapping, the film-bound bale was still better?
In that particular test, so when the dry matter is lower, there we could see a difference that the film bound ones are better, but when it's drier, I couldn't really see a difference, and you could say that they're both equally and well preserved. Yes.
Yeah. Bob, thank you for your clear explanation.
You're welcome.
So now we know more about the quality of the bales, but what about the cost? I will explain to you more about the cost in the next video. Would you like to watch how Koen performed the baling test? Click here.